don't get the show!
You don't get the show! So we're about to go sailgating for the first time. Shout out to the University of Washington for getting us on the Big Dog, which is the biggest sailgate here on campus. And to think this is about to be a Big Ten tradition is so weird. I can tell you they're not doing this in Iowa. So we are here sailgating on the Big Dog. Can you tell the people what the Big Dog is?
Well, it's about a 100-foot vessel. My husband and I have started out in much smaller boats. We've done that for about 55 years. And this is how we travel to Husky games.
Do you think they know the Iowa fight song? I'm in beautiful Big Ten country, Seattle, Washington. I freaking love it here. I think we should open up an office here. This is one of the cooler spots in our college football road trip series, which is presented by Liquid IV. Rehydrate like an athlete. Rehydrate. I said that weird. I have to tell you something. I don't know how to do it. Rehydrate. Wake up refreshed tomorrow. I cannot get. This was presented by Liquid IV. Rehydrate like an athlete and wake up feeling refreshed tomorrow. I know these guys love Liquid IV. What did you just accuse me of?
we thought you're all using this, like the little tag here and all that, and the microphone, the camera, as like an excuse to get free alcohol, free food, and you're not really, you're probably not even recording right now, to be honest.
Let me tell you, Stugotz' ears just perked up. He just thought of the perfect plan.
Lucy! Lucy! How are you?
Boat.
You got Lucy on a boat.
He got me on a boat.
Me and Coker got Lucy on a boat.
I don't know who Coker is, but thank you, Coker. Are you guys going to miss the Pac-12 at all?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Conference of Champions.
I think Balbone's trying to split us all up.
I think the funniest part of this is we went to USC a few weeks ago and we asked them that question and they were like, no.
We are 2 of the 4 members of KISS. We're still looking for 2 other band members if anyone wants to join. So,
who are you most looking forward to playing in the Big Ten?
Michigan. Is it Michigan State and Minnesota?
Michigan for sure.
Michigan with Tommy Tough Knuckles.
The Ohio State.
No, don't give them the thee.
Jim Harbaugh.
We don't know if he's going to be there. Who are you least looking forward to playing in the Big Ten?
Ohio State. Ohio State.
Yep. I don't want to play Iowa.
Rutgers. I don't know.
I'm going to say Maryland. It's way too far away. It's ridiculous.
Maryland, yeah.
Who cares?
Do you want to say anything to Indiana? Do you want to thank them for Michael Penix Jr.?
Oh, yeah. Thanks a lot, guys. I mean, really.
Biggest mistake they could have made. The gift of God. Thank you.
Robbery.
It was like taking candy from a baby. It was easy.
Now, Ryan Grubb, are you guys nervous that he is going to take the Iowa offensive coordinator job? Because I have heard rumors that I've started that he's going to be taking that job. Kirk forever. Even though I've said a lot of the times not Kirk forever, but I mean it now. You guys, he is from Iowa.
I hear that.
He is from Iowa. The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz.
I haven't missed an episode since probably 2017.
What do you guys think the show is?
I feel like we're about to guess something for a prize.
Yeah, we have no prize to offer.
No prize.
We're not that type of show.
Dan, I love you. I'm sorry for everything you're going through. You make a lot of people happy. Stugotz, I hope you come out to Seattle someday, but I doubt it. Billy, you're my favorite person in the world. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
I loved it here so much that I almost feel a little bad that Iowa's going to beat the crap out of them when they join the Big Ten. We did score 22 points this weekend, so everybody watch out. Everybody watch out for the Hawkeyes.
She's getting better and better at those. We're creating a bit of a monster. She has now taken 3 days off to recover from whatever it is she did on that trip.
My girl.
Yeah. She's got it all figured out. We will try to continue to power through a fire alarm. I don't know how many other times it's going to interrupt. I don't believe people at the height of media, anywhere else I've seen, suffer from this problem. I've never seen a program anytime I've been watching television of any kind at the top of whatever this business is, just fundamentally actively ignoring a fire alarm every day.
The good news is it's almost over. Just 30 more minutes of it.
Shout out to Coker.
It's a hard way to do this, but Amin Al-Hassan is here to rescue us, and you know that Amin likes Stugotz. He plays,
in the event of a fire?
In any event, look, Stugotz, Amin Al-Hassan's career has proven that he does not mind getting close to the fire, and what is proof positive of it is he is working very diligently on an Emmanuel Acho impression.
Oh boy!
And he's good at it, and he's getting stronger. I don't know if it's ready for air yet or not, but I don't know if people actively, Stugotz, who are watching television, know that Emmanuel Acho has really perfected sort of a cartoonish wrestling character of what the future of broadcasting is going to be, and he's very aggressive about knocking some people off the road to get at what he wants, because Emmanuel Acho knows that if you sit with Oprah, you can have a broadcasting career forever. And he's gotten very good at the take thing. So, without further ado, are you ready to unleash this? Because I didn't even give you any warning. You were doing this off air.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to Ben Gardner at BenGardner87 who brought the tweet to my attention. I wonder when Draymond will mature past unnecessary fights. It's as if he's trying to prove his toughness when no one has ever questioned it. Gobert was just trying to break up the scuffle, and here comes big bad Draymond Green. It hits a lot harder when he's got like some sort of life lesson to come out of it. Like when he's just making kind of observations,
right?
It's one level, but when he has something like, for instance,
that impression was terrible.
What?
Listen, a terrible spot Dan put him in.
I did. I put him in a bad
honest,
spot.
right.
I said he was
Amin
working
wasn't
on
ready.
I said he was working on it off air. And again, as we've seen with Amin, the impersonations off air are excellent, but then you put the pressure of the microphone and the lights on him and the fire alarm, and he falls apart.
Good morning, y'all. Quick question. Is Josh Allen still elite?
Better.
There you go. It's not just about the voice, it's about the words.
Right.
Sometimes the words we use make us believe the words we say. But the words we use and the words we say aren't always the same things. Here's an example. A fisherman.
Oh, that was good. He's starting to feel good. Let him go. He's rolling. Hold on, he's not done.
But this is the man I've seen. What I'm telling you is that he has perfected this, but only away from the cameras. He likes to play with fire, but he's a little afraid of unleashing this with confidence. But when he does it with confidence, it's the best Acho I've heard anywhere. Anywhere.
That's good.
It is. It is good. That's the highest compliment right there. That has usurped the
That's the real big dog.
The Hakeem Nicks laugh. That's right.
That's good.
So I'm gonna go and try and resume the show. But if you have anything else for us, it makes sense that the evolution of the take would bring some robots and some fire starters and some future Baylesses, because everyone has seen there's a lane for Shannon Sharp, there's a lane for Pat McAfee. There are lanes all over the place here for big money if you're the wrestling character of the sports broadcaster. And he's gotten good at it. He's gotten good at it.
Joe Rose?
He wears good suits. He looks good, and he is imparting life lessons right and left, even where there are none to be found.
Mushrooms.
The true mark of greatness is how much greater everyone around you becomes.
What are you smiling at?
Big juicy cheeseburgers.
That's how he is. He's always super happy, like he just gave you the secret to life.
Gilbert Arenas also has some secrets. Gilbert Arenas is becoming one of the people in this space who are a lot of people are talking about. But before we get to that, I'd just like Roy's thoughts on Sam Reinhart being the final year of a 3-year contract making $6.5 million. Are the Panthers going to afford him?
No, they're not going to be able to afford him. Right now he has 10 multi-point games this season, 5 straight multi-point games. He's having a career year. He's going to beat his career goal total. They're not going to be able to afford him.
It's good.
I feel like Roy should have to do like a vampire voice,
Oh.
like a little bit of a Transylvanian.
Would it be more
A
confident?
Patino voice.
Can I get the Patino voice to do a promo for the hockey show that airs every Friday, some Fridays, currently scrambling for a new guest?
Yeah, we had Anson Carter scheduled for today's recording. Unfortunately, he bailed, so I'm in the middle of scrambling for a new guest right
Are
now.
you in character right now? I don't.
Oh, we lost Anson Carter. Oh.
Stick to the heart.
It is not a great vampire.
Sounded like Roy just getting
impersonation.
stabbed in the heart.
Well, look, Amin is brave enough. I think the bravest thing anyone does around here is the impersonation. Song is a close second. You have to be confident enough and free to do an impersonation. Amin does 1,000 of them. He's got confidence in about 4 of them.
So good.
3 of them are off air. 3 of them he's afraid to bring up. 3 of them are fundamentally useless to the program.
Hee-haw, 3.
Because he's afraid to bring them over
Brave.
here. Every Friday, some Fridays, Roy has a hockey show.
That's right.
After the game with Roy,
We have the imaging up on now.
Jack
for the video.
Spade, as I like to call him.
What a
Excuse
name.
me, can I have a side order of?
After the game with Jack Spade. Oh!
You don't know how to do a vampire.
That's a ghost.
Usually the whoa comes like while you're talking.
Jessica, can you help here? It's a Bela Lugosi that you're searching for.
Yes,
Somebody who
exactly.
speaks German, but that's not what you're doing. You're just going, boo!
Oh.
I would take Edward Cullen even.
Roy, you got to change some W's into V's. I want
to suck your blood. Right.
Nailed it.
What? I can't understand a word
I feel like
he's saying.
that turned into Churchill.
He has fangs in his mouth.
Gilbert Arenas,
Yes.
he has done something you're alleging is diabolical. But I don't know what it is.
We have the clip, fortunately.
You spent $50,000 in the club before?
Yeah, I had a bottle war with a club promoter. Yeah, he buying bottles so I can buy bottles so he can buy bottles. It's just me, Antoine, and Antoine's girlfriend, and we didn't drink like that. I ordered 2 bottles. He gonna bottle 5. So I said, you know what? Since y'all wanna do all this, all the Fiji water in here, I want to buy all of it. I don't want him to hydrate. Antoine, like, man, what you doing, man? It was bottle war, right? We ordering bottles. I wasn't gonna let a club promoter beat me, man. Nah, man.
The outside the box thinking of saying I'm engaged in a bottle war with somebody and that guy's trying to show me up, so I'm going to show him up by buying every single bottle of water in the place so that while you're drinking all this alcohol that you bought, there's no way you can come back from it. You can't hydrate. You can't level yourself out. That is next level diabolical. That is someone who's out here thinking of ways to actively ruin your life. And I was thinking about it, like, what's the most diabolical thing I've done, or any of us have done, that even comes close to rivaling that?
It's a great tease. Can I get from the hockey vampire a suggestion that coming up next, what's the most diabolical thing you've ever done, brought to us by Jack Spade, author of Friday's Sometimes Hockey Show?
Whoa! Coming up next, we find out what diabolical thing happened to Amin. Whoa!
It's terrible.
Still a ghost.
Whoa!
It is time for Against the Spread. It's brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code Dan when you sign up on the app for a limited time offer for new customers. Guys, hotly contested at the top of the table right now. We've all agreed that Dan has been mathematically eliminated for the big grand prize for the winner of Against the Spread. But that doesn't mean Dan should care about it any less. So, Dan, we begin with you.
I'm coming around on the music.
Really?
The music to this segment, if we can bring this back.
Screwy
Me too,
Lewis.
Cat Daddy.
It's called Screwy Lewis.
I was not prepared to do this. I don't have a game for you.
Oh, no.
That's not how you play.
Yeah.
I'm playing incorrectly.
So
The rest
because,
of you can play.
Because you're mathematically eliminated, you're just not going to care? I just said you're going to care just as much.
I'm like the Clippers in the bubble. They told me it was a fraud title, and so I stopped playing.
Well, that's disappointing. On Against the Spread.
Oh.
Thankfully, I know
It's still a ghost.
that Amin Al-Hassan has something for me here. So, Amin, you start us off.
I do. Sacramento Kings on the road at the Lakers, plus 1.5.
Against the Spread. Stugotz?
I love the Dolphins off a bye week. They are minus 12. They're taking on the Raiders. Aiden O'Connell looks like a guy named Aiden O'Connell. I like the Dolphins minus 12 at home against the spread.
I'm going to take the next one, and I thought Arizona moved the ball. Having a really mobile quarterback changes the dynamic of that offense a little bit. I think there's a big rat poison week for C.J. Stroud, who I agree should be in the MVP conversation.
Why do you love rat poison so much?
There's a big rat poison week.
What are you doing?
Big rat poison week, and while that's an impressive win on the road, Cincinnati was banged up, so I am going to take the points in Houston with the Arizona Cardinals, plus 4.5 against the spread.
Why do you love rat poison?
Because it's a very real thing. Nick Saban, you'd agree, one of the greatest coaches of all time?
I would.
He's a firm believer in that. So you think you know more than Nick Saban, do you?
No.
Well, there's a reason why you're at the bottom of the table in Against the Spread.
Good
Roy?
points, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chargers. They are playing at Green Bay this week. I'm going with the Chargers. They are a 3-point favorite on the road against the No,
go for it. We got your back.
I thought you would take St. John's. I did.
No. We got your back. Go for it.
Against the No.
No, we missed a tempo. Count us in and then go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Again. What? No. Against the Red.
All right, Chris Cody, you're up next.
All right, I hit this one last week after being mocked by Dan. The Bucks suck at defense. They're in Toronto. The Raptors plus 5. Lock it up. I'm not a homer.
Against
the spread.
Juju.
I'm not a homer.
Now, you're not near the top of the table in terms of wins because you're not here often for this segment, but in terms of winning percentage, you've got a claim to the big grand prize. Why don't you go ahead?
Thank you, brother. 1, 2, 3 words. C.J. Stroud. I am taking opposite of you, brother.
Wait a minute. What are we doing?
I'm going to Houston Texans minus 5. They're going to beat the hell out of the Cardinals against the spread.
Basically a pseudo-elimination game between Juju and I.
How did Mike have 4.5 and you have minus 5? What's going? You buy the hook?
What did happen there?
That's good.
Can't blame DraftKings, Juju. You're going to have to eat that one. Whatever the DraftKings line is, that's the line on the game. Jessica.
He's on.
We haven't talked about it too much yet, but Dorian Thompson-Robinson will be starting for the Browns at 1 o'clock Eastern on Sunday versus the Steelers. The Browns are favored by 2, but the Steelers somehow continue to win despite being outgained in every game that they've played this season. So I'm taking the Steelers against
the spread.
Anyone else weirded out this morning that Mike Ryan heard the news that Deshaun Watson was out for the season, and Mike Ryan was so happy about simply being right that Deshaun Watson would be injured and sit out the rest of the season that Mike Ryan took a bit of a parade out loud in front of us.
I did that in front of you. In confidence.
Right, but being right in sports radio or podcasting, Dan, it's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what you're
I
right
did a
about.
secret fist bump, not for air. Would you like me to go to air with everything that I observe when we're not
Yes.
in front of the microphone?
Give us one little juicy
How rude.
tidbit.
How
Dan
rude.
lays on the floor.
Oh, I got one. He told Tom Bogert, mustache rides?
That is a good one,
Dog.
Juju.
He said that. I was like, what are you doing?
And that was like one of Dan's least awkward interactions that he's ever had.
It was someone he just met for the first time.
Well, it's a giant mustache. You walk into a room with a giant mustache, and I shout mustache rides on you. I mean, you're wearing the mustache on your face for a reason.
You
want
hit him
people
with
to notice it.
You hit him with nice mustache. That was enough. You didn't have to.
And you make me look like a monster, like I'm just celebrating because I was right. What kind of personality dynamic is that? No, I
Mike
was
would never do that.
I was celebrating because Deshaun Watson got hurt.
But by the way, would you guys like some thoughts from Emmanuel Acho about
No.
Yes, I would. I would love some.
I
Oh,
also
you're setting yourself up for this.
I want to do the Gilbert Arenas diabolical thing as well. And I want to get to Belichick firing because I can't believe we're there. But go ahead.
We could also play that audio again if you guys want.
Yeah.
Of Belichick leaving
That's right.
the walk of shame, the ambient noise. Let's not do that again. Let's choose against that.
Deshaun Watson went 14-14 in the second half, including a game-winning drive versus the number one defense in the NFL, all while playing with a high ankle sprain, quotes, and a broken shoulder. Food for thought.
You've lost confidence. You can't. You have
can't set
to
yourself up.
lower the expectations.
Here's some food for thought. Deshaun Watson is presently ranked in between Jordan Love and Josh Dobbs when it comes to QBR. Now, I know Josh Dobbs is the pastronaut and everyone loves him, but, largely he was a starting quarterback of a very bad Arizona Cardinals team. And even though he's covering, doesn't mean his numbers are great. Deshaun Watson with one strong half, and if he was indeed hurt, like the claim on the official social channels are, that is a really impressive victory in a game in which he threw a pick six, I believe, on his first pass attempt. But it's allowed people to change the narrative like Emmanuel Acho.
Mike, you find happiness in the distress of others. I submit to you that happiness is a flower that only grows in your garden. The more you tend to other people's gardens, the more your garden wilts.
Yeah.
It is great when he's not reading from script.
It's
when
great.
he just lets it fly. He is wonderful with the life lessons.
This timed out well for Deshaun Watson, about as good as it could, I guess, maybe outside of the Tennessee Titan games. He's been battling an injury all season long, and contextually it should be discussed when you're trying to approach his season. Deshaun Watson, right now, even though he gave you a great performance in that second half, and great, I think, is, moving the goalposts.
He didn't have an incompletion. He was
good.
He was
good against a very good defense.
That's the best half of football he's played as a Cleveland Brown.
Right. He's also.
And
do you
the
know how many
last.
halves of football have been available since he's been acquired? He's only appeared in 14 of the 26 games available as a Cleveland Brown. They're paying him how much guaranteed, Jess?
It's $230 million guaranteed. I think they've already paid $90 million because of the suspension last year for sexual misconduct and this year because of various injuries. I've noticed that this morning when I was reading the news about him being out for the rest of the season, it feels like I'm watching a lot of media members go out of their way to compliment what a great second half he had last weekend and how tough he was to play through the injury. Deshaun Watson is not someone that I think anyone would ever accuse of not being a tough player. He played through an ACL injury previously to this. Like he took a bus once to a game because he couldn't fly because his lung was punctured. No one's saying that he's not tough. I don't think that that's the problem or the issue that people have with Deshaun Watson. It only really serves his agents or the Browns organization to be so complimentary to him about this.
It's an odd reactionary take to, yes, his best half as a Cleveland Brown in a big performance. But when talking about Deshaun Watson as a Cleveland Brown, I think it's foolish to just turn to the second half against the Baltimore Raven team when the entire Deshaun Watson experience in Cleveland has been a bad one.
Wait, Deshaun Watson is 5-1 on the season and outplayed Lamar Jackson in Lamar's house. Let's go ahead and dead that worst trade in NFL history nonsense. #dog pound.
I also find it curious the people racing to be Deshaun Watson supporters. I think Tyreek Hill was among the first to question where is all that Deshaun Watson slander now after a good half. I just think there are a lot of bad faith actors there, and you can have your guys and you can root for him and you could say, hey, he served his time. Fine. You want to do that? Cool. The Deshaun Watson experience in Cleveland has not been a good one. And I don't think one good half against a Baltimore Raven team that coughed it up at the end is worth celebrating him as a success.
But he can run to the bank with the guaranteed money, and the last half of football he played, he is toughing it out. Like, this is a perfect time to
get out on top.
This is a perfect time for him to get out if you just want to collect your money and be done with it.
Look, Josh Allen is no longer elite. You have to be consistently good to be great, and you have to be consistently great to be elite, and Josh Allen is not at all consistent. Elite talent, yes. Elite player, no.
Chris Cody, why are we listening to the Bill
I
Belichick
mean,
video?
Dan says I haven't contributed to the show.
It's so good. I've been laughing
You're
the
late.
entire time. It was great Deshaun Watson conversation, and all I heard every time is every seventh syllable, Belichick stepping heavy and shirtless on a step.
Hey, listeners, the Dan Le Batard Show has a sweepstakes, and it's presented by Miller Lite. And you get to hang out with us. Enter right now for a chance to win a weekend in Miami for you and 3 of your friends. You'll hang out with us for a taping of the show and get to experience all that is our Monday Night Football watch party on December 11th. And I know you're listening out there and you're wondering, what happens if I don't win this sweepstakes? How can I still hang out with the gang? Details on that coming shortly, but you only have a limited amount of time here to enter into this sweepstakes to win the grand prize. It's all presented by Miller Lite. Enter right now at MillerTimeMiami.com. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents, age 21 or older. It ends November 16th. So hurry on over and see all official rules at MillerTimeMiami.com.
There are a couple of stories that I want to get to. I want to get to the Sphere. I want to get to distracted players watching Polar Express during a game. I want to get to O.J. Simpson being platformed as if he's not a murderer.
Hello, Twitter world.
But before I get to all of those things, I just want to tell people what was my favorite, perhaps unseen, moment of the last segment, which is as all of that was happening, I was just staring at Roy, who for some reason was staring at the ceiling and again chewing with his vampire teeth into the air uncomfortably throughout all of that. And Roy, before we go any further, can you just tell me all there is to know on the Panthers' top 2 forward lines?
Yeah, I believe they are one of the best in the league right now, especially with Sam Bennett coming back to the second line right now. Carter Verhaeghe scored his 100th goal of his career last night in San Jose. So between Verhaeghe, Kachuk, and Bennett, and Evan Rodriguez, Alexander Barkov, and Sam Reinhart, we're the best in the league.
Mike Ryan, do we have useless sound montage? Is it ready yet? It is not ready yet.
We'll be reacting to the week that was on a Thursday.
I want to get to the Gilbert Arenas, more about the diabolical things that Amin is wanting us to explore here. But I do want to ask Stugotz this serious question.
Okay.
Bill Belichick is 2-8. He is in last place.
Yep.
This man has been the conquering genius of our lifetime. We've accused him of cheating. He is one of history's great winners, and without just going to the point that you're going to make, which is Brady is responsible for the whole thing.
Well, his winning percentage without Brady is worse than Joe Philbin's.
Okay, and but that point is going to be very easy to make, and you're going to be proud of yourself for making it. And I
didn't make it.
It is why Belichick runs the risk of being fired, and I do wonder if Kraft does want to get rid of him, whether anybody would trade for him, because Jay Glazer's saying he doesn't think there's going to be a long line of suitors for Bill Belichick. But the thing that I wanted to ask Amin, as somebody who respects front office greatness, is there anyone who has done so much for a franchise as a leader that the ending they get is immune somehow through trade or something else, immune to the indignity of being fired at the end of your career because you've done something in sports that merits you deserve better than a firing at the end? I'm asking you if there's any hypothetical example I can produce for the audience that isn't going to be the Stugotz rinse repeat of, nah, you stink now, you're 2-8, you're not a genius, get out, you bum, you're fired. Is there anyone who gets to be immune to that?
I mean, Red Auerbach, right? He just
today.
Oh, today?
Today, yeah.
Like, what does the resume need to be so that at the end we're not going to be, you're like everyone else, you're fired, unemployed, you
Because
bum.
Belichick's is pretty good.
Greg Popovich.
Really?
I like when he's done, he's going to go to the front office and just drink wine and hang out.
He's been done for a couple of years, though.
Exactly, though.
Yes.
But no one's calling for him to get fired.
Right.
So I think Popovich is immune from that. I think Eric Spoelstra is going to be immune from that. He's not going to get fired. He's just going to continue his life.
Nick Saban?
Nick Saban? I don't know. College football.
Yeah.
Brady Hoke. They're letting him retire from San Diego State at the end of the year.
And Ferentz, Kirk Ferentz.
Right.
Gino Auriemma.
Not bad.
At UConn.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a lifetime job as long as he wants it.
I mean, Pat Summitt started to, have dementia, right? Before she left
All right,
the job.
so you guys have provided me with the examples. Belichick does not rise to there.
I would have thought, but man, the NFL, it's a different beast. I mean, you can get away in college because it's a small town. The media pressure isn't there. Entire economies have been built on the success of UConn women's basketball. And Bobby Bowden was the same way in Tallahassee, that they did kind of push him out a little bit, but they get such a long runway because they meant so much, not just to a program, but to an entire community, that to just turn your back on their achievements, on a community that evolved and built out, and an infrastructure exists in some of these towns because of the success of the program. I do think it's different in the NFL.
Well, I think there's another thing there is that in college, nobody cares about the AD. Nobody cares about the president of the university. They care about the head coach, right? As opposed to in the pros, there's a GM who very really thinks like, no, I'm your boss. There is an owner of the team who's like, I'm everybody's boss. So Robert Kraft doesn't look at it as like, this guy's the face of the Patriots. Robert Kraft says, I'm the face of the Patriots. And this guy's not good enough. We're going to get someone else.
And if we pay attention to Seth Wickersham's book, I mean, Kraft was a guy that was backing Brady over there.
Yes.
Kraft looks at, look, you wanted to get this guy that won a couple more Super Bowls. You wanted to get away from him. That was my call.
Well, Belichick has done some stuff to avoid the perfect ending, Dan. Like he let Brady go probably too soon. Brady went on to win a Super Bowl, and he hasn't developed Mac Jones. I mean, he hasn't done anything.
We always forget about the original sin. It isn't that he let Brady go or he hasn't done anything with Mac Jones. The original sin was, let's let Brady go. I like this Jimmy Garoppolo kid a lot. That was the original sin.
But the Kraft family had put their names on quotes on Tom will retire how he wishes to retire, and that's not how it went. Belichick won the power struggle there, but
if you're Robert Kraft, you wanted to keep Tom Brady. Yeah, you came out with that quote. Belichick makes that call. You allow the great coach, the greatest coach arguably in NFL history, to make that call. Tom Brady immediately wins a Super Bowl with another franchise. You're probably so pissed at Bill Belichick watching this year turn out.
Actually, armed with hindsight, Dan, that's the perfect ending for Tom Brady. Oh, you want to get rid of me? Okay, I'll go win a Super Bowl somewhere else, you'll fail.
Armed with hindsight, actually, Bob Kraft would give Tom Brady an ownership percentage and promised future of just retire here at 47.
And it's just made it so unsatisfying to watch the demise of this franchise and its annoying fans because Tom Brady's been gone. He won a Super Bowl in Tampa, and now they stink, and it's not even fun to watch. It's just pathetic.
Brady to the Browns? Anyone? Anybody?
That's a great move for him.
What are you, Joe Rose?
That's good.
Did anybody mention Ron Washington? Because he keeps getting jobs left and right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have another nomination for never getting fired.
Who's that?
Stugotz from this show.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a
Deserve
mic
it.
drop.
Our king.
I don't know if that's entirely accurate.
Lifetime achievement, that body of work.
Breaking news.
Fire me, I dare you.
On the hot seat?
He's been very close to being
Stugotz will
fired.
get to retire as a Patriot.
I've been close.
He loves lacrosse.
Yeah.